Margaret,
Hi.
welcome. So good to see you.
Thank you. It's great to see everybody.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Did you catch a little bit of Josh and what he's doing over there at Skunk Ape?
Oh yeah, yeah. I watched
Skunk Ape,
I saw the whole
yellow.
thing.
Oh, right on, right
Yeah.
on.
I gave him a follow too, so if anybody hasn't done that yet, they probably should.
Yeah,
That garden
yeah.
was awesome. Like that's the coolest looking garden I've seen, I think.
It's pretty overwhelming for sure. But so much about that. What about you? What's been going on with you? So congratulations, you celebrated your 5th year with Bite Me.
Yeah, 6 years actually. It's been
Nice.
6 years. Yeah. Yeah, 6 years.
Very
So
nice.
that's I when I started I never thought I would be doing this 6 years later, but here I am. So, that's been really cool. I've been enjoying it a lot.
Right
Because
on.
if I didn't, I wouldn't still be doing it. You guys know what it's like, I'm sure. Like every Wednesday you're on here. So if you didn't love what you were doing, you wouldn't still be doing it.
You know what? Since you mentioned that, it really does show that you really enjoy what you're doing. I really enjoy your posts on Instagram, your newsletters. Please check them out. Um, Gee whiz, how many changes in 6 years? My goodness. Um, what inspired you in the first place to even start this?
I think I was looking for some kind of make work project. I mean, because podcasting also doesn't necessarily pay that much, so it wasn't like I was going to stratospherically launch into some new income bracket. But I really loved edibles, and I also love podcasts, and so I just thought, hey, let's try this out and see what happens. And I still listen to a ton of podcasts, and I still eat a lot of edibles, so yeah, 6 years later, it's still working out. But that's how it started. And yeah, I wasn't as consistent when I first started. I think I was putting out episodes like every couple of weeks or whatever until I got that first email from somebody being like, hey, I really love your show. And I was just like, oh my God, somebody's listening. So,
Right on, right on.
yeah.
So obviously, as everything does evolve, what was your like? What did you want to do at first? You want to show people how to create edibles, or did you want to do interviews right away, or?
I definitely wasn't thinking about doing interviews right away. So it was more talking about how to help people make great edibles at home because that's what I was doing. And it's also from the perspective of somebody who's not a professional chef, which I think makes me pretty relatable because I see a lot of amazing cannabis chefs online doing great stuff. But sometimes it's nice to know that like us regular folk can also make edibles and not overdose ourselves and they still taste good and they can look pretty good too.
Okay. Says the woman who's over here making fucking uzu balls and shit. Like, yeah, that's everybody can do that. What?
Yeah, everybody can. I mean, you might need a little bit of practice to get to certain points, but yeah.
I gave up trying to make gummies. I couldn't even get those to set.
Oh, it's funny you mentioned the yuzu drops though, because it took me 5 tries to actually get those to work. Yes. Yeah. And some people in the club were like, yeah, these were great. I make them all the time. And I tried 5 times. The 5th time it worked, but the first 4 attempts were not good. They were very bad, actually. So yeah.
Well, okay. Well, at least you didn't give up on them, though.
Actually. So, yeah. But I wasn't thinking about interviewing people. But then, naturally, it's nice to have other people on the show. So it's not just me talking to myself all the time. And I've probably done over 60 interviews at this point. And I really love doing the interviews too now because it's I shouldn't say it's a lot less work because there's a lot more work at the beginning, like prepping for the interviews, but I really do enjoy having those conversations. And I learn so much from having these people on because usually they're experts in their space. A lot of them are, cannabis chefs and that kind of thing, but I've had people outside of that sort of direct.
How do you prepare for an interview?
Usually, what I usually do is I'll prepare questions ahead of time. And I send them to the guests so that they can feel, somewhat prepared, knowing that as many interviews go, like questions will get dropped and added on the fly, depending on how the conversation goes. I try and do, read stuff about them if I'm not as familiar with them and find out if I have authors on, I'll actually read the book. So, that kind of stuff, which I should mention, I have an episode coming out. I forget exactly when. I think the beginning of August with the author Steve Stacy. I don't know if any of you know him. He's Canadian, but he wrote these 2 books. And I'm just mentioning them because they were so good and they would be such a fun summertime read, Death by Cannabis and Death by Cannabis, the Re-Up. And you can get them both on Amazon. And he's such a great guy, but the books are super fun and they're like a murder mystery that takes place in a grow up. So yeah.
Yeah, that sounds cool as heck. Yeah.
Yeah. Death by Cannabis. So
Death by Cannabis. I love it.
Yeah.
That's thing. Well, we're not talking about the D word, but you did mention you did mention earlier, overdosing with edibles, and I wouldn't mind expanding on that conversation. I know that is it on your website? You have a calculator, and maybe we just maybe try to walk through a couple of examples of calculating dosages, please.
Yeah.
So you've got an ounce of cannabis that is the THC is 23%. How do you calculate the dosage?
So I'm just doing it on my thing. And you said what's the percentage of the THC?
Whatever, I said 23. It could have been whatever number you want to pull out of your hat.
All right.
23.
So we settle on 23. I got 28 grams. So you can put in like how many grams and the THC, and then you would have to know like how much of your base that you're using, like your oil or alcohol or fat or whatever it is. So we could say 2 cups, and then that'll tell you like the total THC for that whole 2 cups. And then of course you can break it down by serving as well. Okay. Because you're probably not using a whole 2 cups in one batch of cookies or one whatever, because that's a lot of butter or oil. So yeah.
Okay.
So you just put the numbers into the calculator and then it sort of figures it out for you, because a lot of people are intimidated by the math, even though it's not really that difficult, but
So I should know the answer to this, but I'm not really clear. And I know we all have our own endocannabinoid system, so we all react differently. So is there a way of recommending a dosage? I know good advice, always start low and you can always work it up, and that way you're not going to have a bad experience. But do you throw numbers around like that? Like maybe you should start with this many milligrams or...
I haven't really been in a habit of doing that just because tolerances vary so widely, but maybe I probably should. But I mean, if you haven't made edibles before, you should definitely start with smaller amounts. Like an ounce of weed and a couple of cups of butter is a lot. So you probably don't want to start with that. You could start with like, I'm gonna sound very Ontarian here and say half quarter, and which is 3.5 grams, but we call it a half quarter in Ontario. So I know it's a little quirky little thing, but I will probably die by using half quarter.
I love that. That's awesome.
I know. You can always tell when someone's from Ontario when they say half quarter.
That's awesome.
Well, it's half quarter. It makes sense, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've never heard that before. An eighth. I know an eighth.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that like people who are concerned, I don't want to say concerned in a bad way, but concerned with the milligram number, are either they know their tolerance, they know that they can't consume edibles to a high degree, so they have to be wary of that, or they are new to it. And that's a good way to kind of explain to them, well, hey, if you go grab this and it's 25s, like you can cut that in half. Don't worry. Like it is good, I think, for somebody who's just entering the scene to have a number to kind of hold on to until they get comfortable and know themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's really a process of experimentation, which is experimentation of the most fun kind, of course. But especially if you're going in the right direction. Like, it's not so fun if you overdose yourself like the first time, because that's probably going to discourage you. And that's why starting low and going slow is so important, just because it's going to be a lot more enjoyable. So, yeah.
Do you develop a tolerance, Margaret?
Honestly, sometimes I think my tolerance is going down. I don't know what that's about, but yeah, it's weird.
It's an awesome thing.
Maybe it's just me getting like older or something.
Are you consuming more like CBD?
Yeah.
I would say it's that, because I consume less THC with the more CBD that I've been consuming, and it seems to make the THC effect last a bit longer. So I'm not needing to go back for another toke or another dab or anything like that as often.
Right. That's good to know. I mean, I do really like mixing CBD with my THC when I'm consuming it.
Me too.
Yeah, it's become a favorite.
Yeah. So maybe that's why, because I have found that sometimes my tolerance seems to be going down, but then that also means I spend less on stuff. So win-win. I'm not going to complain too much. Yeah.
So, Margaret, you and Emily are doing a collaboration. Why don't you guys tell us all about it?
Yeah. So I started a community called the Bite Me Cannabis Club over a year ago now, but it was kind of something I wanted to do because as a solo podcaster, podcasting can get kind of lonely. Mm-hmm. So it was like a lot of the times you're sitting there and you're talking and people are out there listening because they'll send you messages or whatever, but the community was a really great way to sort of expand that so that people could really interact. I could interact really with people and not feel so lonely in this podcasting space, and other cool people can meet each other as well. So I started the Bite Me Cannabis Club, and Emily has been a part of it, and she's been awesome. And I love her contributions, and it's been a lot of fun. I've been really enjoying it.
So, what have you been contributing there, Emily?
What have you done for us?
What have I done?
Yeah, what have you done for me lately?
Well, actually, so that's the new thing that I've kind of been putting together is Project Canopy, which is a little bit of what I had shared last week with you guys on the show with the pamphlet with the Cannabis Clarity Guide and the kind of factual information for Michigan to have on hand, so that you can, keep it with you and keep yourself as safe as you can, and at least know the rules around you. The Bite Me Club has the full 6-page. It's a 6-page pamphlet posted onto it. So if you do want to see that, you can also sign up, because I do plan on having them printed and mailed out if you do want like a physical copy. And you're in Michigan. So, well, I mean, I guess if you want one and you're not in Michigan, that's cool too. Familiarize yourself.
Yeah, if you're going to come to Michigan.
Yeah, it's good to have it if you're going to come to Michigan. But that's something that I've been working on, and I wanted to do it mainly because I learn by like reiteration. So like if I'm trying to learn something new, I'll like recopy it, rewrite it down kind of a thing. And that helps to keep it in my brain a little bit better. And so I wanted to get a better understanding of the cannabis laws that are all over the US, because they vary like state to state. And they're very confusing. They're written in ways that are meant to trip you up, apparently. They're not the easiest to understand. And there's so many changes that go on so suddenly and sometimes, even hidden, that people aren't aware of. And so I wanted to go through and just start by kind of deciphering the legal text and understanding what some of the words mean, what some of the, like basically what the law meant in the different aspects. And so I'm going to go state by state doing this and figuring out, okay, like if it is a legal state, what are you allowed to have on you? In what circumstance, if they have medical patients, if they are programs, if they have like home grow, if that's available, and what the information is. But all of that is going to be kind of put more into a second part to that pamphlet. and it's more of like a longer form article where it is explained a bit more in detail and a little bit more in an easier to understand manner than just the pamphlet where that's like the broad information right in front of you. So it does give a little bit more of a scenario situation, especially like if you are caught with going over the limit, if you do have more than you're supposed to. But it also is expanded further than just the pamphlet, because what I'm finding is like in Michigan, there are a lot of organizations that are similar to like the Last Prisoner Project, who want to help out people who have been charged with, you know, like nonviolent cannabis crimes, and who are trying to get them out and get them expunged from the records and things like that. So I wanted to call attention to some more of those as well. And especially in like what's going on today in politics, I really want to bring attention to the representatives that we have like in the state. Like if there's certain people currently for like Michigan who stand out as pro cannabis and we want to make sure they stay on our side and they stay in office, or hey, there's somebody out here who's like really pushing it the other way, you know, let's keep an eye on them, kind of a thing, you know, like just bring a little bit more attention to things that we can do as people who are the ones, you know, consuming and dealing with this. So I don't, that article is not out yet. That one is going to be published soon, but that's going to be a little bit just more of an in-depth view of everything as well. And that Project Canopy, I feel like I just spoke a ton.
Yeah, no, that's very cool. Very cool. What I was thinking that if you did all that stuff, like say on a spreadsheet or something, it would be some interesting information, like what states allow you to grow your own, what states are only I mean, I'm sure that it's been done before, but that's interesting.
I mean, that's kind of the thing. Like, yeah, sure, it's been done before. I mean, there is, I'm getting information that I'm learning from Normal's website, and they have one where it does let you know, like, about the legislature and about the current laws or who's in office, and that you can look state by state. I'm trying to look a little bit more in depth than just what they have on there. So I've, you know, read other things as well, including like the bill itself, for the different like propositions and the changes that have been made to them. Vocabulary, I'm not so good on with that, and especially not after a couple of dabs. So like trying to keep this like coherent is a little bit difficult because I don't want to say the wrong thing. So I feel like I'm like a little hesitant, but I've put a lot of work into this and information to put it together. So it is turning out to be a bit more in-depth than I was planning. So it is taking a little bit more time than I was planning, but I want to learn that information and share it with people. And that's like, okay, it's been done before by Normal, but now here's another avenue that maybe people didn't know Normal did it, but they somehow found out that I did it and found it there and still have access to that information. So.
Well, and I would also say, Emily, that you're super creative. And so you have a way of like putting this information together in like a really visual way as well, that I think a lot of people would really appreciate. And I have not seen any Normal stuff that I can think of. So yeah. And I was surprised to learn when you did the state of Michigan that you guys can grow 12 plants. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah, so actually you can grow more than that if you get a medical card, or if you're a caregiver.
If you have a maxed out card, you can do 72.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think we have that here. I mean, you might be able to get some kind of medical program. There might be medical programs. I suspect they're probably difficult to get, but just for a regular recreational, we can grow 4. And that's it. So yeah, 12 is pretty nice.
See, I'm really glad that I moved to Michigan, because in Illinois, you could only grow 6 plants, but you had to have a medical card in order to grow. They didn't even have recreational growing. So
yeah,
that limits a lot of people if they can't financially even afford the expensive medical license.
Especially a lot of medicine, like you're trying to make cannabis oil, like, or you're trying to do something like that. It takes a lot of cannabis, and when you're restricted to 4 plants.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, I guess you can't just grow ginormous trees in your backyard, because then they have laws that it can't be seen from a permanent structure of a neighboring.
It can't be seen from a neighboring property or structure thereon. So like if they get on the roof and see it, technically every grow I've done has been illegal under that standard.
Yeah, that's a pretty difficult standard to maintain, because all you need is like one nosy neighbor who's like an asshole and climbing.
Yeah.
And then there's even locality rules. So like, it's like, how do they interpret the state's law? I remember in our locality, they asked the question was asked, because it says in the law, in the state law, that it has to be a locked, enclosed area. And most people interpret that as just a fenced-in area with a lock on the gate. Some jurisdictions in Michigan and other ones don't agree, think you have to have a top on it too. And we had to throw netting over the top. So it was literally all enclosed.
Yeah, that's not very practical.
Okay, I'm not going county by county.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not that in depth. But
that would be a full-time job. So
that really would be like, whoa.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to have a lot of that knowledge if you were to become an advocate, to be able to talk to these lawmakers and say things like, these are the states that allow legal home grows and so on. So, Margaret, I'm curious if you've experienced many.
Well, actually, Rick, just hold that question. Remember which one you're on.
Yeah.
But talking to lawmakers and stuff, that's something that I really want to do. I want to do a lobby day, and I want to go and talk to them as a patient myself, and let them know what the impact is, on whatever the issue is, kind of a thing, if they're threatening cannabis, but I am so afraid of not knowing what I'm going to talk about, not actually understanding why I think that it should be, like not actually having understanding of the law or how to comprehend it. So this is one way that I really want to just kind of break it down. And even the big words that are in the bill itself, or the tricky sentences that they put together, I want to make it in a way so that regular people can kind of understand it and not get tied up if they are talking to somebody and they try to throw out, a big word.
Gotcha. Yeah, for sure. So, Margaret, I was wondering if you've experienced many, what I would describe as rather than just have a cookie, like a full meal experience, like a cannabis-infused starter, main course, and dessert kind of thing, more for a group.
Yeah, I have. I haven't, I don't tend to do that myself at my house. I tend to cook more single course meals, but
yeah.
I have been to cannabis dinners, and they're fun to go to. The one that I think I really enjoyed the most in a way was one that I went to. It was more like a brunch, and the woman who put it on, it was really good, but it was buffet style, and there was so much food. But instead of infusing all the courses, she infused butters and sauces and all these components, and then she had them in little containers with the label on them with how much cannabis was in it, so you knew
nice
dose yourself, which also meant if you wanted to go up for seconds of something, you could do that. So you weren't limited to I can just have one serving because otherwise I'm going to get way too high and then I can't get home and all this stuff. So I thought that was a really great way of doing it, and that just allowed people to sort of dose themselves. And she had infused caramel sauce for the different desserts that she had, and it was so good. There was so much food, and it was a great way to do it.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then I have been to more formal ones where they bring out each course, and that was really fun too. And they came around and asked everybody what their tolerance level was. So I
want to go to one so bad, and specifically there's one chef that I would just, oh my goodness. Ooh. And it's Emily Oyer. And okay, first of all, she's an Emily, and she's gorgeous, like most of us are. So I love her. But she was on Beat Bobby Flay and what was it? Cooked 420. And she won both of those. And so she's a cannabis chef. She infuses her meals. She does like catering and things like that. I think she's based out of Colorado, and she actually has a dinner coming up where she is selling RSVPs, so you can go and experience that. And it's Wagyu beef. She has caviar in some way and something else. I don't remember everything, but it looks awesome. And like,
yeah, that sounds nice. I'm not familiar with that chef, so you'll have to give me her name so I can check her out.
Yeah, I'll get her Instagram and I'll put it in the chat, okay?
Yeah, because the one I went to was the Nomad Cook.
Okay.
And he's really great too. He's Canadian, a self-taught chef as well. He started his career in like the oil rigs or whatever, and then switched to the cannabis space and to cooking. But he pretty much resides in the States now and travels around the States putting on infused dinners. So
okay.
Yeah. So
very cool.
Yeah.
I think there's another one. I think you had him on one of your episodes, Royalty.
That doesn't sound familiar.
Okay. It's spelled Roilty for royalty. Okay.
No, I don't think so. No,
okay.
I'm sure I would remember that name.
Okay. I know that maybe he's just somebody that I follow on Instagram, but he recently has been doing some bigger events and things like that. And he's somebody who does infused. I'll have to remember what podcast I heard him on now. But
I'm curious because I did just have actually Christina Wong on my show, and she doesn't necessarily do infused meals, but she does do a lot of like cannabis related events in California.
Okay.
And I had her on more just to talk to her about like how to host a cannabis event, and not necessarily like an infused dinner, but say you want to put on like, I don't know, just like a pizza party in the park or something like that. Like she does all kinds of really cool stuff in LA, of course, because I feel like they're just years ahead of us in terms of like weed culture and stuff for putting on events. But she puts on these really amazing events, and she often says that she doesn't even really have that much in the way of infused food at these events. Yeah, which I thought was interesting.
Is it like open consumption though? Then?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's cool. Like they did an event a little while ago, like earlier this year, where it was like a Blue Dream tasting party, and they had like the Blue Dream cultivars from like a dozen different farms in California, and they were all like trying them out, and I was like, that sounded amazing. So yeah, they do really cool stuff.
That's really cool. I like that it was focused.
Yeah.
Margaret, you have a couple of sponsors. You want to shout them out? Your packs, your vapor, your T-check.
Oh yeah. I'm so good at promotion.
That's what you call that was a hard transition there, Rick. A hard.
Right.
I'm not good at that.
Yeah, I mean, I do have a couple of like I don't know if you call them sponsors per se, but I'm an affiliate for them, but I don't really promote any products or services that I don't use myself. Like I do use a PAX myself. I have it right here. I've been using it. I guess you can see it. I've been using it this evening. I do use a T-check. I don't necessarily recommend it for anybody who's not like super serious about making edibles or testing their stuff, because they're expensive, and you can figure it out. Like, if you're not making them that often, you can figure it out on your own using online calculators or doing the math. So, but it is great. It is a cool tool to have. Yeah. And I do have a couple of devices as well. There's pros and cons to each of them. I have a magical butter machine and a Levo and an Ardent, just because I've been doing this for so long. And a couple of those I bought before I even started the podcast. So they're just things I've been using. And yeah, they each have like their own advantages. But again, you don't necessarily need those to start making edibles either. So don't think, anybody in the chat, that you have to have that to start. Because the other interesting thing is I recently had a guest on my show, Vanessa Lavarado, and she put out a new cookbook recently called How to Eat Weed and Have a Good Time. And it's a great cookbook. And she's talking about in the intro how she did a whole bunch of science, like experiments in a lab, testing infusion times. And basically what she found was that you don't need to infuse for nearly as long as you think. And I was like, this is super interesting. So I tried it myself in my own kitchen, not because I doubted her, but just because I'm curious and I wanted to see for myself. So I infused butter and olive oil, one batch was for 30 minutes and the other batch was for 2 hours. Obviously, I weighed out all the stuff so that, it was the same amount of cannabis in all the batches and stuff. And the difference between them both was like in potency was marginal. So like the butter and for 30 minutes and the butter for 2 hours, like the difference was so marginal that like why would you infuse for 2 hours? You don't really need to. Most of the cannabinoids get extracted in that first 30 minutes. So that's kind of what I've been doing lately, which I thought was kind of
it probably improved the flavor as well. Probably.
Yeah, because you're not extracting all those other plant compounds that give it that green taste or the chlorophyll and all that kind of thing.
That makes sense as well, because like when we make RSO, we've recently tried like a quick wash where it's like a 3-minute soak and then you strain it. Like the color is better. And I would tried it where I would do a second wash on it and see what I pulled out. And what I got back was, next to nothing. But that first one was already better color. It was still a great amount of return. So why keep it in there and wait longer and, taint the end product because you have that chlorophyll leach into it?
Yeah. Yeah. So kudos to Vanessa for making that little discovery. And I've been doing that ever since I had her on my show because I'm just like, it's such a time saver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big time.
I'll bet. Have you got a favorite edible?
I got a better question. How many times have you been asked that question?
Every time I've been on somebody's show. And it's such a hard question to answer because I probably don't have a favorite. It's more like, what's my favorite right now? Is a better question, which I would answer to like, is it like, what's your favorite movie or what's your favorite song? That would probably be the same answer. It's like, what's my favorite right now? I have been lately kind of obsessed with, this is going to sound silly, but popcorn.
Yeah.
So just butter.
Yeah.
Straight butter.
Yeah.
Well, what are you putting on the popcorn? Are you actually just doing butter or you got others?
Yeah, but you can do all kinds of stuff with it. But sometimes I'm just like, let's add a little infused butter to it.
So infuse the sugar, make kettle corn, and then infuse the butter and put butter on it.
Yeah. But making it in a pot, I've just been like, I don't know. I recently discovered you can make popcorn in a pot, and I've been making so much popcorn.
Oh my God. I'm so glad you found that way.
Yeah.
It's the only way that I've been making it for years now. My little guy found out that you can make it in a pot like that. And it's just so easy, so much better.
It is so easy and it tastes so good. And like most of the kernels pop versus like the microwave popcorn or whatever. So yeah, that's been like a kind of an obsession. I've also been making some bubble tea lately because I did bubble tea for an episode, which was when I had Christina on, she shared a recipe with me or said I could do one of her recipes for the show. So I did bubble tea because it's delicious and it's summery. So I've been playing.
What is bubble tea?
It's like a drink. I think it originated from Taiwan, but have you ever had like it's like an ice drink and it has like those little tapioca pearls in them at the bottom?
Oh, okay.
It's so good. Yeah. You'll see like bubble tea or boba tea shops. There's like a couple in my town, which I haven't actually been to in a while, but why would you when you can make your own and you can put weed in it? So yeah.
I'm wondering why would you put tapioca in a drink?
Yeah, I was just thinking.
Tapioca pearls, and they're like these little pearls, and they're like kind of chewy, and it's admittedly there's.
Gross. You just suck it up in the straw, and then you have to chew it.
Yeah.
No, there's a bug in my drink.
It's so good. It's so good. Yeah.
I would want to know what they taste like, but probably not in my drink. Like, what is a tapioca pearl? Can you is it like you would eat it out of a jar?
I don't know.
No, because you have to cook them first.
Oh.
Yeah, because I picked mine up at like an Asian grocery store in town. And yeah, you have to cook them. You can't just put them in because they.
What are they? What is tapioca? Is it like?
I like pasta? Tapioca pudding.
Yeah. What is tapioca?
Is it a rice?
Yeah,
I feel like it's a rice.
It could be. I honestly don't know.
I like rice. I like rice pudding.
Yeah.
That's good.
I like rice pudding.
There's milk in this drink, and then you make like a simple syrup. I did it with her recipe has a brown sugar simple syrup. I tried it with a rhubarb simple syrup again later because I picked rhubarb from my garden and made a simple syrup from it. So it's a sweet drink as well. So these
I don't know what rhubarb is, but now
What?
I'm on.
Rhubarb?
You don't know what rhubarb is?
Rhubarb is
No.
like a sour stalk. It looks kind of like chard, but it's thinner. It's got
Yeah.
really red stalks. You can't eat the leaves, but you can eat the stalks.
Yeah.
That's not what we're growing, though.
No, we're not growing it. And it comes back. It's a perennial. It comes back year after year.
It's really good, but it is
Super
very
sour.
tart. Like you have to add
That's what it
some sugar to it. Otherwise
Oh.
your face will pucker up.
Strawberry rhubarb pie is like a classic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I saw that question come up on the screen. I forget what it was, but yes, you still need to decarb.
I figured that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I would say it depends on what your goal is, because you're going to do some decarbing in just the heating process. It doesn't all decarb at the same time. So that's where the time kind of thing comes in the decarb process. But, there's medicinal. If you're looking for medicinal, there's medicinal aspects to the undecarbed form of THC. THCA is medicinal.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're doing anything bad if it's not all decarbed. It's actually
It just won't necessarily be as potent.
right. If you're looking for just the psychoactive effect, then you're going to want to make sure it's decarbed.
Yeah. Yeah. Good question.
I want to shout out to Chat, and I'm sorry I get distracted. Dave, I appreciate you putting Chat up on the screen there. That's the good news. The bad news is sometimes I start reading it, and then of course I lose track of where we are and all that good stuff. But
No, you're doing great.
Just like that.
We have an answer, though. Tapioca, this is from Hillbilly Herb.
Thank you,
Okay.
Hillbilly Herb.
Tapioca is a starch extracted from the cassava root, a plant native to South America. I don't know if I said that correctly, though. I said it confidently.
Cassava.
I was wondering, I was thinking in my head before.
I don't know. That's
Honestly, cassava, tomato. Nobody really knows, but that's interesting.
One more
it is a
question.
starch.
Yeah, you could do the same thing. You could take that. If it's an all glass container, you could just throw that whole thing in the oven if you wanted to.
You better make sure it's an all
Yeah.
glass container.
Yeah.
But
You don't want to melt anything.
or you could just scoop it out into a glass container.
Or a mason jar, even
Mason
though it's a
jar.
metal lid. That's good. But
Or a little heat-proof silicone thing.
because this is glass,
Probably,
this is not.
Right.
yeah. Exactly.
So I don't know. Okay.
You
What?
get an ardent and put it in there.
What's an ardent?
How would you decarb the wax?
Ooh.
Yeah.
You could get a crock pot, a slow cooker.
That's too big. Get a little baby one.
You have a little small one. That one's
That's
perfect for
true.
the little mason jars.
Well, one of them coffee warmers, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because it doesn't have to be super hot, right? Like
Right,
it's
right.
You know how I
20
decarb
degrees.
my wax? In my banger. I just dropped it.
That is definitely effective. I don't know how it'll work in edibles after that, but
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It
does-
definitely makes me want to snap.
Yeah.
Give an exhale into the mix.
yeah.
Okay, Margaret, I know it's getting close to your bedtime. Now, don't ask me how I know that, okay?
What are you saying, Uncle Ray?
I'm getting myself in trouble here.
No, I do. I am an early. I don't go to bed this early typically, but I do go to bed pretty early because I don't know what it is, but I'm at a stage in my life where it doesn't matter what time I go to sleep. It could be now, it could be 3 a.m. and my eyes will go bing at like 6.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's 5:30 lately because of the birds.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, super fun. So yeah.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
I mean, sometimes it is kind of fun
Bubble, but I
because,
hate
like, I got up this morning and I put on the kettle to make coffee, and I saw fox in the yard. So you know,
Yeah,
Oh,
nice.
that's
these
cool.
things you wouldn't see if you were still asleep. So yeah, it's great in the summer. In the winter, it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got like
I don't mind.
the light blocking blinds and stuff. It's like I want to sleep.
I don't mind waking up with the sun, but I don't like waking up and it's still dark outside.
Yeah,
That does
that's
hurt.
bad. And it's usually quiet in the morning, I guess. So that's good.
I like
Yeah.
how quiet it is with snow, though. I won't
With
lie.
snow?
Yeah, because the snow kind of pads it and makes it all a
Yeah,
little
for
bit
sure.
quieter.
Don't worry, we'll get snow.
No, let's not talk about snow. I am enjoying this hot weather that we've been having. So
We're just showing some slight appreciation so that it doesn't come
Yes.
back with vengeance.
right. Yeah, that's a good point.
So my
Thanks so much
last
for hanging out, Margaret.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I want to say too. But my last failed segue talking about bedtime was
Yeah.
that we didn't necessarily agree on a time that we were going to go tonight. And I just want you to know you're welcome to stay as long as you want.
Oh, okay.
There.
And then she
Okay.
clicks out immediately.
Yeah, bye.
Exit.
Bye, Rick. See ya.
You didn't say I could leave whenever.
Okay. Just one question before you go. Okay. You told us about that dinner that you went to, but you didn't tell us about any more of the details, like what you had at that dinner, that event that you went to.
I was pretty high, so like the first one that was
Food that was in
Yeah.
like
weed.
fancier was like it was beautiful and everything was brought out like course by course, but it was a few years ago now, and I did get pretty high, so I don't remember.
But the event was nice.
The event was nice, and then the brunch that I went to, there was like a huge spread of all kinds of food. Like it was just there was tons of stuff there.
Yeah.
Yes, and she was a phenomenal cook, so it wasn't like there was volume and quality. So
That's cool.
that was like a cornucopia of eating, and I was also
How many people?
The one with the brunch was pretty small. Like it was a smaller and more intimate group. There was probably like 15 of us, 15
Okay.
big, and so that was really nice because they're all like a big long table. The other one that the Nomad Cook put on was in like a fancy downtown Toronto apartment where you didn't find out the address until like the day of.
Oh, wow.
And it was like some penthouse apartment. So they crammed like, I shouldn't say crammed because it was still really nice. They had like somebody playing music and all this stuff, but definitely I'd say 30 to 40.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think I would have
So-
liked a smaller one too. Well, actually, I don't like eating around people. So
Right.
I would probably like the bigger one because then there'd be more people and I would like hide away to go eat.
Right.
Like other people would be so focused on so many others. But
Yeah.
the smaller one would be
Hmm.
nice because I just feel like you would actually get to talk to did you get to talk to the chef at both of them?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
No, actually, the chef at the more fancy one, not so much. Although
Okay.
he did have this cool, like, he was making some kind of cotton candy with foie gras or something like that.
Oh.
And so he was serving everybody. So we got to chat for a minute there.
yeah. Okay.
At the brunch, she was there and sitting at the table with us and all the rest of it because it was just smaller. You can just, and there were fewer people, and the food was already prepared. So she had less work to do, I guess. than
Yeah.
serving the people as you go. Yeah.
I like it. Nice.
Yeah.
That's a really nice idea of putting the infusion inside the sauces and so on, like you were saying. Now, with the other meal, the food itself was infused, correct?
Yeah.
So, and they asked you about your tolerance beforehand. So in that case, they would just give you less food. Is that how that would work? if you had a lower tolerance, or
No, I think they were using probably infused sauces as well, but just everything was incorporated into each dish.
yeah, okay, right
Yeah.
on,
Yeah. I'm
right
sure
on.
they had to be like extremely organized in order to pull that off.
Good point. Yeah, good point. Yeah. So, upcoming guests and upcoming show topics.
Oh,
I do have, as I mentioned, Steve Stacy, author of Death by Cannabis and Death by Cannabis, the Re-Up. That one's coming up soon.
the re-up. I love it.
Yeah. It's also a fun read. That's a great summertime read. I highly recommend anybody check it out. He has these like little augmented reality things between each chapter as well, which is kind of fun. So yeah. I also have Angelina Blessed coming on my show. She's like a retired Muay Thai fighter. that also
Oh,
makes
cool.
edibles. Yeah. And she's really cool. So she is coming. That episode will be out pretty soon, actually. And then I do have scheduled a fellow named Wesley who runs the Benevolent Bakery. And that's basically a company that makes this like infused like cake mix or cookie mix. And everything's in the box. All you do is like
Yeah.
water. You don't
Fuck
even have to
yeah.
add food. I'm not even really sure how that works. I'll find out. But
Dude, okay, I had a thought to do that like a year ago when I was like trying to figure out how to make muffins, and I was like, there's no way you can ship the fucking butter. How can you infuse it? How do you infuse sugar? And then infusing sugar is so fucking stupid because you waste so much material.
Alcohol.
Like the return is just not worth it.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I've made
I
some
went through
before.
that. That's so interesting. Who is
Yeah.
that one with?
His name's Wesley, and it's the Benevolent Bakery.
Okay,
And
very
he's
cool.
US based as well. So as far as I know, he can ship anywhere in the States because of his
Mama's gonna get
festival.
some cake mix. I don't even like cake though. I don't
I
even.
do. I
Yeah,
like
you
I
do.
think
cake.
he does like a cookie
I'll
mix.
eat
I
it.
think he has a few different ones, but some
Good
of them are
cookie.
definitely you just add water, and then other ones I think you might have to add like the eggs and stuff. But the one thing that I was really impressed by what he's doing is he gives out like a portion to all his sales to like I don't want to say homeless shelters because he's working with several different charities in different states because he came from like the nonprofit sector before he got into the cannabis space.
Cool.
Yeah. So he's kind of like, that's why he's calling it the Benevolent Bakery because he has this real social component to what he's doing, which I thought was really different.
I'm looking forward to that one. That sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm interviewing him next week.
Okay, very cool. Got some good shows coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm super excited. So yeah.
How do you go about finding people to have on your show?
Yeah. It's a combination. Sometimes they find me.
Cool. Okay.
And then a lot of the times it's people that I want to interview. Like I'll reach out to them, and it
Well,
works.
that's what
better.
I'm wondering is how do you stumble upon these people? Because like, you know, so many people in all these little areas and different countries and everything. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, probably through the community as well, like the Bite Me Cannabis Club. People will give me ideas. On Instagram as well, I'll see people doing interesting stuff and I'll want to have them on my show. Like I've been following Christina Wong for a long time, and she started out like she is a baker and she does like the most beautiful baked goods ever. Like I chose not to do one of her recipes of a baked good because I'm like, there's no way it'll ever compare to what she does because she started out doing like infused baked goods.
yeah.
So I've been following her for a while. And now that I've been doing the podcast for a while and I'm not like, I've got 300 episodes at this point. I think it's marginally easier to get guests because I'm not just like,
Starting out or anything.
yeah, I'm not just starting out. Yeah.
Well, that's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's also too cool that you kind of have a name of the space now, so you can kind of reach out and have that weight to have them want to be on. You know what I mean? And not
Yeah.
just brush you off.
I think it's cool that you have people who reach out to you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That would make me feel so cool. Like, whoa, I'm somewhere where somebody wants to come talk to me and share their story. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Uh-oh. Look, Rick's smoking again.
No. Yeah. Well, I got a little bit lost there. I thought, did I smoke that second joint? And I was looking at, and I found it. But there, I had a really, really good question.
You
but,
did? What was
it? You know what? You threw me off, buddy. You threw me off.
Just by saying your name, I threw you off? I'm
That's all
sorry.
it takes.
I've seen it happen with less. Okay. So
Oh, okay. It just
this
came
is
back.
not my
It just
first
came
rodeo.
back. It just came back. So I wanted you to, again, a cheap plug. I wanted you to promote where people can find you.
Yeah.
Like Spotify, and give me a list of where people can find you.
Well, that's a great question. Thank you for
I
asking.
knew it was a good question. I knew
I
it.
appreciate that. My handle pretty much in most places is like at Bite Me Podcast. And I'm most active on Instagram. I'm also on Blue Sky and YouTube. I have all the audio episodes go onto YouTube as well. And I do the videos of the interviews that I do on YouTube as well. I have a website, bitemepodcast.com. You can find the episode on any of your favorite podcast players. So, Apple, Spotify, all the places. What else? And then the community, if you're interested in that, that's joinbiteme.com. Yeah. I don't think I've left anything out, but yeah.
And
all that's on your link tree, right?
It should
Hi,
be.
Home Grove.
Yeah, I do. I am a panel member am I a panel member? I guess I am, because I don't. Well, I only say that because they put out a lot of episodes and they do a lot of interviews, and I don't go to the interviews because time-wise, Mackie is in the UK and I'm here, but I'm there most Sundays for the Sunday show. So I'm on the High and Homegrown show as well on Sundays, which gets released later. But if you're showing up, to watch it live, then I'm one of the members on that too.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand. You said it's live, but it's released later. Another thing I don't understand.
He edits the episode, the Sunday YouTube show, and then puts it out as a podcast later in the week.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, like as a premiere. Is that what it's called?
Like you can watch, you can listen to it on your favorite platform, like Spotify or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, I get fooled. Because you think you're watching it live, but okay, fine.
Well, it is live on Sundays.
It is live. You're watching it live. Okay, so just like
it's kind of like this, like exactly what we're doing right now. But then he would take that audio and edit it, and then post it to.
Okay, thank you.
He has, yes. I know it's all technical stuff.
Thank you. I thought, don't be fooled again.
Yeah.
But
don't give him any ideas, please.
Oh shoot. Okay. Well, since I didn't have a list of questions, damn it, I'm running out of stuff.
No, honestly, I'll help you out here, Rick. This is a great segue for me to say good adieu to everybody here this evening, because I just did the whole "where can you find me" bit. So that's usually when people are like, "Okay, good night, have a nice evening." So yeah, all right.
But Margaret, it's always a pleasure to have you on. You've been a guest a couple of times in the past. You hosted with Russ on the first chatathon. So you've been a friend of the show for quite some time. So
I've been on a few times and done the Last Prisoner Project. How many times have you guys done that now? Like
3 now.
Yeah, I think I've done all of them.
You've done all 3 with us.
Yeah. So I really appreciate you guys too. So thank you for having me on again this evening.
Thank you so much, Margaret. Have a good night.
Great talking with you again.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hi,
God,
everybody.
I thought she would never fucking leave. She's still here. Did I say that out loud?
It's okay, Rick. Just keep smoking your joint. It'll all work out.
Love you too. Oh shit. Yeah, she's a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
I'm really glad that she's been able to join us so many times.
Yeah, me too.
And it's cool that 6 years that she's been doing this. Really cool. Yeah. Oh, damn, I did have one more, but maybe you guys can help me too. I wanted her to tell me the difference between the Levo. Well, Dave, you use them too. The difference between the Levo and the Magic Butter and Ardent. I think they mentioned.
The Ardent is just a decarbing machine. It's just decarbs.
Okay. And what do you use, Dave?
I use a Levo. And that decarbs and infuses.
Now you mentioned though that it doesn't do a large quantity though.
Do up to about 14 grams.
Good. Okay.
It only makes roughly.
It won't even do a full ounce at a time. What a
No,
I can't say that on live probably. What a bitch ass machine.
Yeah, you can say that.
I was going to say something a little worse, but.
Oh.
That's okay. We're not live.
I only use it for my lotion, so it works perfect. For
all right.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't make edibles.
Do you have to put the lotion? Do you have to put the oils for the lotion that you want to infuse in with the Levo while it's processing?
Yes. So I combined all my oils first.
Okay.
I've got the 2 little canisters filled with CBD or CBG, whichever one. Probably usually both. And then I'll package. It's about 2 cups. You get about 2 cups of oil out of it, which is perfect for a batch of oil or a batch of lotion. So
Nice.
it works good for me.
Hillbilly. How dare. Oh, hillbilly. Guess what, sir?
Oh,
I
no.
have 2 absolutely fucking beautiful nuclear nightmares that are going to be planted in the ground.
Nuclear nightmare.
So I'm
Nice.
stoked for that. Thank you
Hillbilly,
for the genetics. Both
Hillbilly, I'm loving your backyard, man. You've got the coolest backyard, buddy. All kinds of neat flowers going on there.
Oh yeah.
It's always cool to have an awesome backyard, man. We got a bunch
Yo,
of
you guys are doing good too.
It's looking nice out there. Our front yard is not so great. I thought the pumpkins would be spread out more by now, but I misjudged how much sun or lack thereof because there's a big ass tree in the front yard.
Yeah.
So
That's
wanna
all right.
give-
little flowers, not big.
Let's
Fine,
give
yeah.
a shout out to our friend Bingus. Everybody know who's Bingus?
We
Bingus.
do.
I do.
Absolutely. Is he hanging around?
I haven't seen him in chat tonight, but he wrote a book. Everybody,
We were
Damn straight. Did you get it?
I have not got it yet, but it is in Amazon. I just posted it in the link there. So if
Oh.
anybody's interested, Bingus wrote a book. Hell,
We're gonna look at this book.
The sovereignty of cannabis.
How do you say that?
Sovereignty.
Sovereignty.
Okay. of
I
cannabis.
don't know if that's correct, but that's how my brain said it.
The
Yeah.
green soul is the end of it. That's a cool book.
Oh, that is cool. I like
I
it.
like the
Has-
cover. Cover's cool. It's just
Has it
really-
got a?
yes.
Has it got a? What do you call it? A summary of what
The
what
Sovereignty
the
of
book's about?
Cannabis, an outstanding book written by Bingus, tells the readers to see cannabis in a whole new way. Not just as a plant, but as a companion with the power to heal, inspire, and bring us closer to nature. This book blends practical insights of growing and using cannabis with thoughtful reflections on its ability to spark personal growth, foster creativity, and promote sustainable living. Whether you're an experienced grower, a curious beginner, or someone drawn to its deeper meaning, this book offers a fresh, heartfelt perspective of what it truly means to connect with cannabis, or cannabis's green soul.
Cool.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Right on.
interesting. 96 pages too. It's a good book. Good thing.
5-star review on 7 ratings.
Doing good
That's
so
better
far.
than most other Amazoners.
Perfect. What's up?
It's good to see the community.
Yeah, great to see everybody in chat. Oh, Emily. Oh, geez, here I go, putting you
That's
on
me.
the spot again.
Oh
Putting
yeah,
you
Rick
on the
didn't
spot
mention this to you,
again.
Emily. Sorry.
Oh, what's this?
So what happened was Emily was our seed sponsor last week, or the week before last, and One Son Mom won your seed pack. But since she lives in Canada and she only grows outdoors, I thought I'd send her some autoflowers. So unbeknownst to you, you are our seed sponsor this week.
Cool. I'm fine with that. But also, didn't I run both of those last week?
I thought you did.
Okay, you see, then I got myself in trouble.
I can
Okay,
do it again. That's no problem. But
Oh, I'm sure we could.
Are
figure
you-
out.
Are
Somebody's
you sure?
yeah, I don't know what they're going to get. I'll grab something.
Well, okay, darn, I didn't want to put you on the spot, especially live. Oh, we're not live.
Yes,
are we?
you did.
He said,
Right.
"No, we're not live. We're
I'm so confused.
Memorex."
Okay,
We're just hanging out.
I blew it.
That's
Okay.
Rick remembers Memorex. He used to sell them fucking things.
Did you sell
Ooh, ouch, ouch, ouch. Okay, help me, Dave.
What's up?
Where are we? Okay, we're 17 minutes after the hour. We have a giveaway. What else am I missing here?
Well, you were gonna spotlight a certain member of our show, certain panelists.
Oh yes. Thank you for reminding me. And I gotta remember some of our upcoming guests too. But on or around on or around the bottom of the hour, what we would like to do is we'd like to create a special segment in the show for Spartan Grown. And we want to take advantage of the time that you are with us. Ooh, that looks good. To take advantage of you and grill you. And so I want to reach out to chat. This is your opportunity to ask Spartan, and maybe that's what we'll call it. Ask Spartan. I don't know. And if I'm not getting enough questions from chat, well, then you're going to have to. Now I don't have my list today, but I can fake it if I have.
Dude, I said, so get your questions ready.
Okay, I'll work on that.
I had
anyway,
to make a sticky note. I had to write Margaret down on a sticky note, so I didn't call her.
Hey, we were RBT further. We were talking about another winner, another seed pack winner. Is there an issue? Did we not get his?
We need we need his.
Yes. I think you're a seed pack winner, and we need your contact information, my friend. So please send it to either to my Instagram or my email, whatever works for you.
I swear.
And
there you are. Pulling a Rick, can't find my joints.
Okay, and just one more quick plug is what's coming up, and we have coming up. Next week. Yeah, go ahead.
Next week.
Yeah, next week is Leanne from Hygrozyme. She'll be joining us. Looking forward to that. They got a bunch of new products. I guess they started. Actually, it's quite an older company, but we'll ask her, won't we? But I think they started with the Hygrozyme, which is a. Oh, no, I'm way too high. Anyway, that's July the 16th. July 23rd, we have Candy Dabber Farms. Tell me about Candy Dabber Farms, Emily.
Can't.
Oh,
I
I'm
can't
sorry.
I can't.
No.
Candy Dabber Farms is a beautiful woman. She is a great friend, and she's an incredible gardener. So we're going to get to chat with her. We're going to get to learn about her ducks, her dogs. She's got some cats around there, and a lot of veggies.
And she's in Oklahoma, is she?
I got no idea. I couldn't answer that if you paid me.
I'm not sure. I thought she was at one time. So anyway, looking forward to that. Yeah.
I don't stalk people the way you do, Rick.
He's good at it.
I don't just know that off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, so hold on. I've got to go back and look to see what Leafy Wiggy won.
Leafy Wiggy, yeah, wasn't it?
Leafy Wiggy. Let me see. I got it written down here.
Leafy Wiggy, I think you must have won the Jealousy, which was the Jealousy Cross to Sunday Driver.
I don't remember what order you.
It was either that or the Motorcycle Latte. Which one sounds familiar? Who's the other winner? I don't know.
Hempa Gigi says, do you believe in the dark or white ash to indicate purity or cure? I think it's the biggest indication of
moisture.
Probably moisture content. But if it's dark, it could be that it's not pure. It could be that it wasn't flushed.
I'm sorry, Spartan. Go ahead.
No, that was pretty much it.
That's some good ash, Rick.
Rick, you've shown your ash again, man.
RBT needs the link, Rick. What is it? Sending it to your Instagram? That's in.
Are you talking about who?
Yeah.
Who are you talking about? Oh, R8.
Right there.
Hemp with
Okay.
Gigi, all the questions. Do you
Head
feel
over to the.
growers should ever top an auto? If it's still in veg phase and that hasn't started flowering, you can go ahead and top it. And I would only do that if it looks like it was like aggressively growing. Generally, I don't usually with autos. I just let them roll. But I'm not a huge auto grower. I just grown them outside mostly. And then another question was, how long do you cure before smoking cannabis flower? I start smoking it after about 2 weeks after it's been hang drying. And I like fresh cannabis. And I would argue, people, that the cure 9 out of 10 times does not improve the cannabis, that it's degrading. So I think after about a month from harvest, you're starting to push it to where it starts to degrade. Up to that point, I think it's still good stuff. If you could, they keep coming. If you could only choose one way to consume cannabis for the rest of your life, what would it be? Wax flower edibles. Only one way? Edibles. 100%. It's the strongest way. Best effect. Lasts the longest. Vark Dog the Grower. Spartan, have you ever tried 18.6 light at the end of flower? I don't understand the reasoning behind 18.6 other than sacrificing quality for quantity, and I'm not wanting to do that. So I haven't tried it because I haven't heard an argument that says that it somehow improves quality, which I don't believe it would, because you're exposing the plants to something that will degrade it at harvest time, which is more light and heat. I think that's all of them. I'm all caught up.
I like the rapid fire. That was nice. Good work.
Okay, if we missed anybody, throw your question back in there again, please. Thanks, Russ. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Did you get this one?
Yeah.
Do you believe in the dark or white ash to indicate purity? I started.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we talked about it. And you know something that's ironic, and I may as well. I was going to reach out to Hemp with Gigi after the show, but God damn it, I was thinking about him today, and I haven't thought about Hemp with Gigi for a couple. Well, no, it's been a few months. Anyway, I'd love to get him on the show. He used to be an avid YouTube guy, and yeah, good to see you, buddy. I want to reach out to you and see if you'd like to join us on the show sometime.
Come on down.
Reach out.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
He was really into the even canopy, and hey, is somebody making fun of me? Or what's going on?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
we just all joined the conversation.
Hell yeah. Oh shit.
Shout out Icarus Green. He says we got a great show going, Rick.
I like that name, man.
Just don't fly too high, man.
Don't get too close to the light or you might foxtail.
Good thing if you're watching.
That's good advice, Emily. Words to live by.
See, we're supposed to have a segue into that segment of Spartan. I made you a fucking intro and everything, man.
Oh,
Oh,
see,
that's
Rick.
I blame Rick.
Well,
Spartan's
it's
never
not-
had an intro, man. Spartan's never had one.
It's not too late, my friend. It's not too late.
All
There's
right.
no more questions. We already ran it, Rick. You made it.
Well, then we can still. Fazoli will have a question for us. Hey, good to see you, buddy. What? Yeah. What did I miss?
Oh, wait,
so
Bark
just
Dog.
give Fazoli a review of the whole fucking show.
Bark Dog
You
the
missed
Guard
that.
did have another question. By that logic, is it good to lower my light intensity at the end of flower to help cool the room and save terps? That is generally what a lot of the people do. I don't, because I do that by pulling that plant out of the room, stick it in the dark, and then harvest it in the night cycle. So you can either harvest at the end of your night cycle, right before lights come on, or you can pull it out of your flower room and let it sit in the dark for a while, and then harvest in the dark. That way, you're at the lowest temperature point and no light intensity, and you're harvesting in the dark, so they're not being exposed. So when you harvest it, you kind of starting all the curing process, I suppose.
Fucking Fazoli.
Is fabric softener worth the squeeze? Yes. Fabric softener is worth the squeeze. It's versatile.
Comes Calvert.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, I read something about you recently, Hemp, with Gigi. Okay, buddy. I'll reach out to you for sure. For sure.
That's a cool story. I like that. You got the. I'm gonna read it for everyone. I'd love to join. I've been working at a legal grow facility here in New York as a head plant trainer for 2 years now. I used my YouTube as my resume in the interview, and I got the job in that day.
That's cool as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seed person's asking.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up, seed person? What would you consider to be an excessively high dose for edibles? Like your top amount of RSO or edible milligrams before it's too much? I mean, are you asking for me or are you asking for you? Because the answer.
I think he wants to know for you.
I don't know. I've had 1,000. I've had 1,000 milligrams. I wouldn't do that again on purpose. So I would say I'm somewhere in the neighborhood of, I would eat 3, especially like if I'm getting a home grower and they're telling me it's 300 milligrams, I'm like, that's probably the top that I'm going to try to consume is 300 from a home grower. If it said 300 from the dispo, I'd eat that all day long. So probably around the 300 mark. I have eaten a gram of RSO, and I felt like I was just as high as I was with a half a gram of RSO, but it just lasted a lot longer. So I think there is like some saturation point. Wow, there's more questions coming in.
Hell yeah.
What's your opinion on whole plant hang versus individual hang versus wet trim versus dry? Oh wait, versus wet trim versus dry tint. Maybe wet versus dry trim. So wet versus dry trim all day long. What's your opinion on whole plant hang? Whole plant hang is what I do, but it's not always possible. If you have a lot of plants, and you need the plants to dry, sometimes you have to break them apart. So it's very situational. It's not required, but if you can do a whole plant hang and a low, slow dry, I feel like it's better.
Oh shit! Hemp with Gigi. I'm sure we all have our own. Got too high on edibles story. Mine goes something like this. My son got me it was Father's Day, and he got me some gummies, and I forget the milligram. There was a lot. Okay. Anyway, I threw them on the dash and drove home. And then I remembered later on that, oh, yeah, I got those gummies. So I went and got them and opened them up. Well, when I opened them up, it all turned to liquid. They were all liquid. And now what the hell do I do with this? Well, of course, I had nothing else to do but just consume it all. And so I went to bed and I woke up and it was still dark out. And so I thought it was morning, and I got up and I showered, got dressed and everything. And then I realized it was still getting darker. It was still the night before. Lost total touch with the reality there. But anyway, there's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Sounds good. That sounds like a good trip there.
Oh yeah, it was great.
I've really heard that question. Why do you think bud rot starts in the tops of some strains related to how the respiration works? Man, I usually only see bud rot outside in my experience, honestly. I haven't seen that kind of bud rot indoors. I'm sure it happens. And I've normally seen it outdoors. And it does usually start towards the top, but I think that's where the goddamn worms or caterpillars fucking just drop first from the trees, wherever the fuck they're coming from. And they burrow down inside there and they shit and they fucking die. And it rots every time. No, maybe that's not the case you're talking about. Maybe you're not finding these little guys. But your guess about respiration, how the respiration works, I don't know, because I suppose that it would respire more towards the tops because they're getting more sunlight, but also you're going to have better airflow at the tops than towards the bottoms. So I just think it's just the ability to be exposed to whatever the pathogen is. So the spores or whatever that's causing this fungus, or more, they're probably just floating in the air, and where the best airflow is where it's going to probably hit those buds first. It's all me guessing. That's just my opinion. What is the right size pot for a 5x5 tent for 6 plants? Are you growing in, how are you feeding these things? Are you growing in soil and you're going to have the soil feed the plants and you're just giving it water? Or are you growing and adding like synthetic nutrients of some sort or fertilizers and giving the food and the water? How are you growing? Because it'd be 2 different answers. Because if you got like a cocoa and you're giving some fertilizers, okay, he's got soil. So if you're doing soil, 6 plants, you could probably get away with, I would say, I wouldn't go smaller than 5 gallon. I honestly try to fill up the space. Like I have 4 I do 4 plants in a 4x4, and it's 4 sip containers. But if you put those sip containers all next to each other, there's like very little space left in that 4x4 area that isn't covered with pot or soil. And when it comes to organic growing or growing with soil, all of your nutrients are right there in your soil. So if you want to grow big plants, you got to have soil. You got to have a lot of soil or more soil. So I would say I would not go lower than 5 gallons. You could always go up if you can fit them in there, just up to your physical space, but I would not go lower than 5. What do you say, Rick?
Good to see Nut Tree in chat. Good to see all the conversation in chat. Yeah, that's great.
Should we have some fun?
He was saying I was hoping 10 gallons would be, 10 gallons would be perfect. I think it'd be good. If you can fit 6 10 gallons, they might be a little taller ones, but they'll fit in there, I think.
Yep.
In a 4x, yeah, I think so.
Let's have some fun, huh?
Do you think they'd want to join us for a duck race?
I got to remember my buddy's got the same thing in his car. The whole front dash is covered with ducks. I got to get a picture of it. And where's my duck?
Make sure to get his license plate in there.
Yeah.
No, not really.
Anybody watching that's not familiar with this, please put in the word free beans.
Free beans.
Just like you see it on the screen.
No space.
You'll be entered to win a spot in a race. If you win said race, you win free beans. Pretty slick.
Free beans.
Cool. Courtesy of Emily.
Yeah.
Courtesy of this beauty. It's right next to me. I was going to say behind me.
Oh, I'm not behind you. I am next to you.
Right next
Yeah, so if anybody's watching that from Spartan's channel, they should come over to the Let's Be Budz channel so they
That's
can
right.
be involved.
Be part of the right on.
Anybody make comments yet?
I think they know the drill by now.
I hope.
So
I see me. Look at him. Free the bean.
I want to give away these.
Bomb. Purple.
They're purple and
Yeah.
red bomb. The THC bomb crossed to GDP crossed to headband.
So a GDP headband crossed a THC bomb. Ooh, that's some old school right there.
F1 photo period regulars
Oh, that's
from DTE Farms.
ooh, that's talking my language. You can breathe with that.
Cool. Right on.
Susan's my channel, and she has a few questions. She's late.
Ah, well, Susan, ask away.
Fazoli, I don't want to be a nuisance, but you got to put it in exactly like it shows there. I think the capital letter doesn't matter, but the S you got to put on Sorry, Russ, go ahead.
Who are you just telling that to?
Fazoli.
Oh, Fazoli. He knows how to do this. You act like he's not how to do this.
Well,
He
he
got
put
it.
in,
He
he
put
put in free bean. Yeah,
Susan
go
wants
ahead.
to ask me a question, wanting to know what's the advantage of cocoa over soil? The advantage of cocoa over soil is you get to control exactly what the plant gets to eat. So it's pretty inert and empty, the cocoa, and you get to feed it nutrients every day so that you know what the plant has available every single day. You get faster growth in smaller pots. You can support bigger plants in smaller pots. You might have to water more often. I think that's pretty much the benefits, the quick benefits of cocoa over soil.
One benefit I like is it's harder to overwater.
Yeah.
Which is it can be a problem with that. Yeah. So free beans and seeds has been a part of our show now for quite some time, eh?
Yeah.
I think it's really cool, sharing something like that. Yeah.
Well,
That's kind of like our goal is like we just want everyone to be able to grow their own medicine, get that power. You know,
I just put it in chat as well. Oh, it's GDP, not GRP. Sorry.
we should be getting to the point where some of these people that are winning some of these beans should be starting to show their growth, and how they're doing.
Yeah.
That's what's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, gee whiz. A lot of people out there are growing your gear right now, Spartan.
Yeah, buddy.
I love that. I got some seeds to Australia thanks to Seed Person giving me the assist.
Oh yeah, I gotta get a hold of him. I'm gonna hit him up. I want to know how he did it because I gotta send somebody to. I got a pack to send to Australia myself.
There you go. There you go. I can confirm they got there.
Hell yeah, you can. So I'm gonna find out how he did it.
I want to let Susan know that she's going to be the first person when I have these seeds made out to get some of the Bliss to Vortex seeds.
Ooh.
Heck yeah. You rock, Susan.
Vortex.
We got 40 in. What do you think?
Oh, man.
So
Can we get
Let's do
42?
it.
I want 42.
With, you want 42?
I want 42.
Oh, here's a good question. Hempa Gigi says, what's your opinion on flushing? Green Labs recently released a study indicating that we've been lied to. And I would like to see the study because if it's the one I thought I saw, it was by a nutrient company. But anyways, lied to, and flushing does nothing but deprive the plant of nutrients, but flushes nothing. I don't know. I would have this sounds like a different study. The study I saw was saying that it was done by a nutrient company, and it was saying that they took blind taste testers and they couldn't tell flushed from unflushed flour. But when I looked at the study and the white paper and their methods, it didn't tell you what their runoff ppms were or anything like that. So who knows what their idea of flushed was or wasn't flushed if they don't even know what the fucking runoff numbers were. So I had a lot of problems with that study, but this study sounds like it's something different. And if you wanted to send it to me, a link to it or something, I'd be happy to take a look. But I still think flush is, like everything. I don't grow in a lab. I grow in my garden. I can tell you my results. And in soil, I don't really flush. I don't see the point. But in cocoa, if I were feeding cocoa with salts like I do with Trichome Forge, we absolutely flush. And it makes a difference. It's a positive change in the end product if we flush, rather if we don't flush. We've done it both ways and tried it ourselves. So, I mean, I don't know the science behind it, and I don't know what else they want to say, but I'm not going to feed to the end. What's the point? And it costs more money to do so.
Well, that's what I was just going to say is that if this was sponsored by a feed company, obviously they're going to want you to feed right up until, and feed twice as much if you can, right up until the day of harvest. Yeah.
All right, Dave, you want to roll that?
Yeah.
Let's pull 11. We'll give them a 1 in 4 chance.
I like that math. I like that math.
Good luck, everybody.
Mhm.
Here we go. This is just for a racer in the race.
A racer. And
Hey,
a racer.
and
You
and
can
and
drug your duck.
and by the way, thank you,
Way to go.
Double E. There you go. By the way, thank you everybody in chat for all the questions. If we missed any, either we'll run them again or we're just going to do this on a weekly basis. Decoy Bacon, congratulations. And I need to know, what did I offer? Like I'm going to find it in my notes here. Oh, there's Decoy Bacon's name.
Joel Scott.
Cheers, Joel.
Joel, you still haven't updated that profile picture, man. Come on. I'm a little disappointed. No, I'm a lot disappointed, Joel.
I'm gonna wait for the heart.
Why would I begin to even look at
That's a cool fucking picture, though, dude.
I do like that. It always reminds me of the company that made hemp shirts.
Reminds me of the Blackhawks.
Oh, Chicago, huh? You know, we're in Pittsburgh territory now.
I don't care. Charles
Parnell.
Congrats, dude.
That's using your government name and everything. Look at that one. The 420 Smash Shore? Seashore? What is this? I can't read the bottom word.
somewhere.
420 somewhere.
It's 420 somewhere. Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I'm like,
Oh, Vark Dog, that's that's a little mean, man. No picture, no beans. How about the next time you give away seeds?
ooh,
I don't want to do that.
Dang. I might have to incorporate
Congrats,
that.
Troy.
Troy Nussbaum, another government name, man. That's cool. Looks like he's out in the woods there.
Hey, Troy. Nice to meet you, bud.
Good luck in the race, Troy.
Thank you for keeping track, Hillbilly.
Oh, yeah. So Gigi's talking about the RX Green Technology study. Yeah.
Galaxy.
That's the study I have read, and there's a lot of problems with that one. Galaxy Solutions LLC.
There you go, Galaxy.
Congrats, Galaxy. You're one step
see-
closer.
See how with Gigi, my problem with that study, one of the big problems is they said that they had flushed cannabis, but they didn't say what the runoff was. So what's flushed? They have zero numbers.
Yeah.
Congrats, Sheldon. But
There you go, Sheldon.
Update that profile picture, man.
3 more.
Main Dad.
Main dad.
Okay, so
Now, okay. EE said Galaxy entered the race, so y'all just lost. But Main Dad has pulled through on a few of our giveaways now.
True.
So watch out for his duck.
And I have
okay, so
Gately the
so I'm sorry, Decoy. And if I haven't,
Likes.
if I didn't, I think you asked earlier about a link. Okay, go to the show notes and either link on my Instagram or there is an email there as well, somewhere near the
last
top.
one.
And that's the best way. Rather than me try to remember what I offered, let's talk about it in Instagram or email. Good luck, Brian.
the rookie.
All right.
All right.
Way to go, way to go, way to go.
46.
You got a lot of people
Yeah.
all up in.
Okay.
I'll get one of those,
Okey-dokey.
whatever Dave said they're called, stamps. So anybody,
International.
anywhere. Yeah, the international stamp.
International. I think that's the trick.
I'll get these beans wherever they're going.
And it's just remember, it has to weigh under an ounce,
All right.
that package.
Under an ounce.
Yep.
So take it out of this.
Definitely take it out of that.
Oh, this doesn't weigh that much. Let's see my shipping and receiving hands. Definitely way less than an ounce.
But this is it, y'all. Is that correct?
Okay.
I think it's
Sorry?
correctly. There it is. Oh, that ultra focus.
There we go. That's what I wanted.
Thank
Beautiful.
and
Thank you, technology.
And thank you, as usual, Emily, for allowing me to put you on the spot.
Well,
I'm used
it's
to it by now.
kind of both our faults because I forgot to run the wheel last week. So
I got you. No
I'll
worries.
take half the blame, Rick.
Okay, and thank you, thank you, Decoy.
You see all these goodies in here?
Oh my goodness.
They're up for grabs.
They're all up for grabs.
Damn
Susan wants
nice.
to know if we have problems with burn. You can burn your plants if you have cocoa. Well, you can burn your plants with either or, but I suppose it's easier to burn with cocoa because you're feeding them every day if you overdo it, but it's really just following a recipe. You can learn either way, and maybe you'll like both. Maybe you like to do one way and one the other way and see. I encourage you to try it for yourself.
The one thing that I shouldn't say I'm learning because I've been doing it so long, but that I realize is that runoff is important with cocoa.
Yep.
This stupid brain of mine thinks I'm saving money by not, if I don't have as much runoff, but it costs in the long run because the plants aren't getting what they want. That's the whole idea of the runoff, is so that you get rid of all the extra nutrients that they didn't eat last time, right?
I agree. And like if you ever run into a problem with a plant and you have it in cocoa and you're like, oh crap, this thing's not happy, you can just flush good. Like you can just make up a big batch of your nutrient water is good, and you just flush it completely through and just replace what's in there, push all the bad shit out.
Yeah.
Replace the new shit and you're good to go.
Yeah. What runoff do you and Bake usually try to do at the forge there?
We water till we get good runoff.
And good is 20% or?
Well, we don't go down and weigh it, and we don't get percentages. We just look down there and make sure it's dripping out of the holes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe another way to ask is, do you measure the runoff?
No, unless we have a problem, then we would. But otherwise,
Okay.
It's going all into a tray and mixing together, and we're sucking it out with a shop vac.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, then you do have a rough idea of what the percentage is. A rough idea. How many?
You're asking if I pay attention? No.
No, but
that it runs off the bottom.
Your reservoir is this big, and your shop vac is this big. How many times do you fill up the shop vac?
I don't.
I mean, I'm sorry. How many times do you empty?
I empty it once.
In order to empty it, you have to fill it. Okay. So
It's already full of air, so it's already full to begin with, I guess.
Okay. How much nutrient do you dump out at the end of the day after you water? There you go.
All of it.
Got it.
Well, you can't
It's gonna be like
with
that.
the regular plants.
He's gonna be like
Right?
that. No. He's gonna be
I
like
don't
that.
measure anything. I don't know what he wants from me. He wants me to just pull a number out of the air, but I don't measure anything, man.
I'm gonna get it out of you. Okay. How many gallons of nutrient do you start
Definitely
with?
not gallons.
How many gallons of nutrient do you start with in your? It's not gallons.
We have we don't have reservoirs. We are hand watering. So we generally will water all the plants that need watering because we're going in there and lifting them and seeing which ones need it. We don't water everything. And
Okay.
so it could be anywhere from 5 to 10 gallons.
I get.
that we use,
I-
but it all
I-
depends. It's different.
Yeah, I understand. Now you would have to feed them different nutrients along the way, or
Why?
because one might be in the second week of flower and the other one is in the
No, at the
Seven.
Trichome Forge, they're all the same. They're pretty much all the same age. They're
Oh,
a few weeks apart. Some went in a little bit later, but they get the same nutrient from The only thing that we change is when we go from veg to flower, but we don't really change a whole lot. Everybody's pretty much on the same schedule in the flower room.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I asked you. Are you using what type of nutrients there?
We're using Canna nutrients right now, but Canna, yeah. But we'll soon be testing Grandmaster nutrients.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Extra level nutrients, maybe.
Yeah. I just saw a post from somebody recently where they compared all the different nutrients. Well, only price wise. That's all that they were comparing was price.
We got. I've got it actually at the warehouse right now. The nutrients. I just have to figure out some kind of packaging.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Probably some buckets.
Sorry?
I said I just got to get some buckets or something to put it in so I can store it. It's just all powder.
Okay.
Cool.
But you're going to be doing your own packaging?
No, I've got some gigantic bags of nutrients delivered to the warehouse that are large size that I could never use in 10 years. So what I have to do is find a package that's smaller than that gigantic bag and maybe get out enough that I could use to do a run or two to test it. So I just got to do that. I got to figure out containers to go in there and grab some stuff and start trying maybe a 5-gallon pot and stick it in the flower room.
Mm-hmm.
See how it does.
Their powder formula.
Yep.
We could show off the trichome forge real quick. How about that?
Let's do it.
Sure, yeah.
Cool. The first impression I got was clean. Everything looks so with all the white. Everything looks so clean.
Oh, thank
Okay,
you.
first though,
Oh,
we
look
need
at this
to
race.
turn the volume down. Turn the volume down on the race before the race starts.
Do believe I forgot to adjust the music on that one. Sorry.
That's all right.
Oh,
I had three.
I love the fish bear. Is that a fish bear?
I's a rookie. He looks like he looks like he can't bear it.
Here, we'll adjust the music.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Good luck, everybody.
Wait, who's that?
Whoa,
Whoa.
Oh,
what the hell?
What
Whoa.
was that all about?
What is this? Donkey? Wait, that's not a donkey. That's a dolphin banana. Yeah, them ain't ducks.
And there's a monkey banana too, and a frog tiger human.
All right, let's not talk about the elephant in the room.
Joel, I
A
don't
shark
know,
with
man.
feet.
I
That's
don't know.
scary. Oh shit.
Frog wheel is a bit frightening as well.
I's a rookie.
Good
I'm
old-fashioned
rooting for
time,
you,
frog.
buddy.
Try the shark.
Decoy, what the hell? You got a banana and a.
Oh,
As a rookie.
Come on, do it, buddy, do it.
Oh, the frog tire.
They're teasing us. Usually we get the winner figured out, but
I don't know.
This
man.
is great.
I'm going for Sheldon.
Chiefin might make it. Might make it to
There's
the
a few
end.
green
He might.
Oh, you're right.
He's a rookie.
Oh, it is
making his
capybara.
move.
My bad.
Come on. Ah,
Let's
yes.
go decoy. Let's go
Eyes up,
decoy.
rookie. He's going.
You did it, Isaac. Rookie. Well done, buddy.
Flower.
Congrats, man.
You've upset all the other creatures.
Wait, yeah, main dad wasn't in that.
What?
Main dad wasn't in that.
Did I miss somebody?
Uh-oh.
You sure?
Okay, we have to
Contestants?
we have to rerun it.
We gotta rerun that.
No.
We might be
We'll
over
put
a
main
minute.
dad. Can we put main dad in next week?
Yeah, we give him
Absolutely do that.
Okay.
How did I miss it?
Zoli thinks it's rigged.
It is rigged.
Yeah, right. Oh shit! Hey, what a great show! God, and I love that that Josh. As long as he's available, he'll join us to give us an update. Really appreciate him dropping by, and Margaret, of course, from Bite Me. It's always a pleasure to have her on the show. And chat. Oh, you guys, you really performed tonight. I just out of the corner of my eye, I caught part of it, and just great to see everybody. We love you. And last words, Spartan.
Oh, just much love and keep growing.
I'm sorry. I just want to say one more thing. Thanks, Dave, for that incredible intro song that you're working on. It's really cool. Go ahead, Russ.
Much love and keep growing, everybody.